Hello, welcome to another video. Today I am going to show a very characteristic features of the clavicle. As my previous video I have described everything about the clavicle, but today I am going to show very few and occasionally we see. As we teach, the clavicle have the characteristic feature such as it is the only long bone which lies horizontally. It is the only bone which appears its primary centers first before the birth, and it is the only long bone which doesn't have medullary cavity. Generally, all long bones have medullary cavity, but in case of clavicle, we teach it doesn't have medullary cavity. In my 11 years of teaching anatomy, I have never dissected the clavicle and seen the morphology of cortex, but today I dissected the clavicle and I saw myself, and I am going to show you also. Let us see the clavicle. I have this clavicle. I made transverse section and longitudinal section, and internal features of clavicle is exposed. If you'll see here, really doesn't have the you can see doesn't have the cavity we call generally medullary cavity. Here instead only we can see a lot of plates and rod lamina of the bone which is forming few cavity we call trabeculae, and hence instead medullary cavity there are numerous spaces called trabeculae. So medullary cavity is not present, and hence the cortex and medulla of the clavicle are trabecular. I am so happy myself to show the internal feature of clavicle. Since it doesn't have the medullary cavity, now I can teach my students very confidently that it really doesn't have medullary cavity. Instead, it consists of a small sinus called trabecula. Hope this video is for medical educators very interesting and helpful to understand better internal feature of clavicle. See you in next anatomy video. Goodbye. Take care.